Dan Cather, Operations Section Chief Trainee, Great Basin Team 3. This is your operational brief, August 11th for the Anderson Complex. Acreage is 50,800. In Branch 1, we've got the Techlanica group. We still have the crew in here working around the structures and mopping up. They've assessed all the areas, all the plumbing and structure protections is in place. Any extra supplies, they are backhauling so we could utilize in other locations of the fire. Today's activities, they're going to remain in here mopping up. They found an area with some heat where the trees have fallen down, and they're going to really concentrate on that area. The last couple days, we've received a lot of rain and moisture over the fire area, and fire perimeter growth has not changed. The Anderson-Nenana group. The crews have finished up the work up in Nenana, and same thing in Anderson. They've got the fuel breaks in, they've got all the lines plumbed, ready to go. They've got a masticator in there just finishing some final little preps in some areas on the fuel breaks. They've assessed and looked at what resources they're going to be critical through this weekend, and they've also looked at what resources and supplies that they can backhaul also to be utilized in other areas. They will remain in this area through the weekend, working the lines and assessing and making sure that we're starting to look at the fire repair standards for turnback standards on any of the lines that we've created. The Clear group, they've got all their resources in place, they've got their lines in, and they're doing the same thing. They've got equipment on standby, they've had some crew swaps, and so today they're going to be taking their crews around and getting them familiar with the lines and objectives that they've got around the clear space area. Let's go to Branch 2. Okay, Branch 2, we still have the Kobe group. The Kobe group's in here. We've got the dozer line that's been completed and the fuel breaks. They still have crews that are going around through the structures, assessing the structures. Some of the structures have been already pre-treated and or have had actions taken for protection from the clear fire. But they're just going through, they're validating to make sure all the structures are still looking good. They're also validating access and egress routes through the Kobe and ag area. And they're also looking at areas where they can use the masticator to open up some of the fuel breaks to just give a little more wide area through there. They've gone through and they've assessed, the reeds have gone out and worked with the crews, and they've looked at the dozer lines and the mastication lines, and we're following their guidelines. It's going to be the same thing in there today. Also, they're looking at extra supplies and seeing if we can start getting some backhaul through those areas also. They've received a lot of water, or a lot of rain, through the past few storms. So access getting in there on the roads has been a little bit difficult. And those are some of the things they're looking at also, is with the projected rains that we're supposed to get today with the crews. They're looking at the safety of the crews trying to travel those roads in some of these areas. Birch Creek. Birch Creek, we still have the hotshot crew that's still on Birch Creek. They've gone in, they've fired up the pumps around the structures. They're still mopping up around the structures where the fire has come in close to that area. So they've got half the crew in there working today, and then the other half of the crew has come over here and they're working on this old Kobe fire. There's two structures inside that drainage. What they've done is they've opened up an area where they've got a sling site, and they've got everything prepped and the structure's prepped. So if for any chance the fires happen to move that way, we can sling in equipment for structure protection needs. So that's the plan for this area here. So they're going to continue mopping up, they're going to continue assessing the structures, and then they're going to start looking at areas where they can start backhauling equipment and making sure that the plan's still validated in here. The Rock Creek fire. The division has gone out, they've flown the Rock Creek fire. They've looked at the different structures, and they've looked at the things in the outpath north of the fire itself. We've had very little growth on any fire perimeters. The fire has pretty much stayed in the same footprint as it has for the last few days. All these areas have still received a lot of moisture. Today they're going to still reassess to see if we have any movement of the fire. Second, they're going to validate some structures to the north. They're about 6 miles to 7 miles ahead of the Rock Creek fire. And third, they want to validate the communications. This is a very poor area to have communications, and communications has gone in and set up another repeater for us. So we're going to validate all that before we try to insert any people. That is the operational brief for the Anderson complex.